Live. Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's the motherfucking Nerd Rap Podcast. This is the first episode I'm doing on YouTube. But for anyone that would like to check out the Nerd Rap Podcast, please go to anchor.fm and go check it out. And you'll be able to see 260 episodes of the Nerd Rap Podcast. Gonna start doing the live on YouTube from now on though, because I want to be able to expand my audience. But salute to everybody. Salute to everybody that is subscribed. If you're not subscribed, thanks for everyone watching. But yeah, Kwame Brown, a lot of information has been exposed on Kwame Brown. Me personally, I'm not a sports fan, but one thing I am against is institutionalized oppression. And that's oppressing the voices of people who were wronged by an institution. Now, for Kwame Brown, he was brought in basically as the scapegoat for why straight out of high school recruiting was not the wave. So before he even got into the NBA, the political game was already set up to try to generate more revenue to go towards colleges and trying to get these kids to go towards college. So a lot of the Kwame Brown, a lot of those draft picks were kind of getting shuttled to more so go towards a college to where, of course, you could generate the college's revenue. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of the backlash Kwame Brown may be getting, he may not be the best player in the world, but it's hard for people to take an 18-year-old straight out of high school and criticize him, and y'all bash him and y'all spend years bashing, calling him the biggest bust, which we've seen far worse players, especially somebody who probably was learning how to play amongst big people in high school. Or the fact that he was a scapegoat to where y'all channeled all of the criticism against him when the articles that were written were basically labeling him as an example of a straight out of high school, uneducated. Like he was already getting bashed out the gate. Out the gate. And the NBA was responsible for that. So for people to still say that they're going behind and making it oh, they were just talking about his career. It was never just about his career. It was always defaming his character. It played off the fact that he was an unintelligent athlete, even though he had honors, a full ride scholarship, and it had nothing to do with his academics. He was never stupid, but he made sure to get that money in the game. Now I went back and did some research. Salute to Carcinio for life. He dropped an extremely informative piece, and a piece just talking and giving facts about the Wizards era of Michael Jordan, of the politics that was already in play. So for these people coming out and trying to say that Kwame Brown is just he's emotional and mad, a lot of y'all are playing with a man's name, and now he's exposing the fact that from out the gate he was already set up to fail. But my thing is, how did he still stay in the game for 12 years? He may be a bust to our expectations because he was a number one draft pick, and he may not have been lived up to the expectations. And oh, he only got 8 or 9 points. He had the best jumper, the best jump shot. There's a lot of players who had the best jump shot or play garbage. The problem is Kwame Brown was never garbage. He was just y'all example of somebody straight out of high school that didn't live up to the expectations of coming straight out of high school, just so they could funnel more young kids to make these colleges more money and not get paid nothing. They get used like basically like workhorses. So now we're going into the constant berating and disrespect of Kwame Brown's name from someone like Charlemagne the God. And bro, like you're a whole rapist, bro. Like you pled guilty to rape, my G. Like how you're roaming. Like there's nothing. There's really nothing else to say past the fact of a rapist and men with horrible criminal track records are speaking on somebody and calling them violent and bringing up their family history to defame their character, and it's a whole child rapist airing our family business. Like Charlemagne, bro, you're like, what are we talking about, bro? Did you apologize to that girl for doing her wrong with Scorpion Tail, bro? Like she's out. She publicly talked about it. Did you ever go apologize to her? Go to South Carolina, say sorry to that girl? You told a story about it, like you remembered it clearly, so it clearly been on your mind. People make their mistakes, and people have their shortcomings, but we've allowed entities to create scapegoats for us to pour all of their frustrations out on us. Not their frustrations out on us. And y'all know who their frustrations. You know who I'm talking about when I refer to their frustrations. So you already know the narrative that's being painted about anybody that is used as the example, that is basically used as a scapegoat. Because all of the criticisms that you would have to face if it was your fault is one thing. But for the fact that he's used as a scapegoat for why people wasn't supposed to come straight out of high school. All these facts and stuff about his game and the points he was getting, even though that it'd be the second half of the game, they'd be 30 points down, they'd bring on Kwame Brown. And then he would be Kwame Brown again, just not doing what he's supposed to do. Why the fuck is he supposed to come in and save a game? He's supposed to come in and save a game. What about the rest of the dudes on the team that let us lose down 30? Did they get thrashed the same way? Were they the example? No. But Kwame Brown was the example. I'm just saying, he may not have been the greatest player in the world, but bro, like some of y'all didn't even make it past like tryouts. Some of y'all can't even get in the D League. That man made it all the way there and stayed there for 12 years, bro. He was doing something worked. I don't know what worked. Something worked. But my Anchor podcast audience is on. It's the Mother Effing Nerd Rap podcast, and I'm talking about Kwame Brown. My Anchor podcast kind of got an episode about Kwame Brown already, but now that I got more info, I just want to keep everybody up to date. So he was basically a scapegoat, yo. And now you got all these people who are like speaking up on the behalf of the NBA, but it's really funny for this institution that has been known to have owners who don't even value us as human beings. Yeah, what the dude Donald Sterling talk about something. If you talk to the niggers, can you at least not bring the niggers to the games? Like they're animals. Like that. This is how they still refer to us, yo. But yet they pay our money. They own the institutions that speak about these athletes. They try to flame Jalen Rose because he called out Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless for how they're going about it. And Stephen A. Smith, I'm gonna keep it 1,000, bro. You're very angry and you get very, very impassioned. And when people don't agree and say you said he's ashamed of himself, we're ashamed of the headline you've been trying to defend for the past 10 years, my G. We're ashamed of the way you speak about athletes that you was never built for no type of athletics a day in your life. We're ashamed of the fact that you hold a position into which every chance you get, you are bashing and criticizing black athletes. But you was talking about how black athletes had this high criminal record, some weird nonsense you was talking about. But when that white woman said something, you was quick to say sorry. You was quick to be understanding. It's like house niggas like you is why we can't get ahead nowhere. It's because you're the first person to make excuses for why we can't get nowhere. No, it's dudes like you. It's dudes like you that have every chance in the world to see somebody, to see something wrong. All you have to do is ask Kwame Brown. At any point, y'all have rappers up there to get their opinions about sports. They ain't ever picked a basketball up in their life. Y'all have numerous entertainers that come up there and talk about sports. They ain't never had no basketball, football in their life. But you couldn't ask Kwame Brown when you gonna talk about him being a bust. At least give him an interview. Explain what happened. What went wrong? Hear the other side. Do real journalism. That's all we ask y'all to do. This is the issue with media. Y'all aren't media anymore. Y'all don't report on what happened. Y'all report on what y'all want to talk about. That's ridiculous, yo. Palestine out here sending out all types of Jerusalem and Palestine sending missiles and missile defense systems are going off. A news station just got bombed. The world's going in a crazy place right now. And the common denominator and all that, people are trying to suppress the truth. Over there, they're bombing news stations due to the military deeming it um, maybe there's terrorists there or something like that. But it's the truth of the genocide going over there. It's the truth of the murder and state-sanctioned mayhem that's going on over there. So when you look over here in the United States, a Kwame Brown is one thing, because it's just basketball, but it's an institution trying to suppress the knowledge of the atrocities that they take part in. It's an institution taking part in suppressing the voices of numerous athletes who have been verbally abused, talked to crazy. You had Charles Barkley, old ass, in there talking crazy to an 18-year-old, talking he wanted to beat him up and all this. He's 18 years old. You're like his father's age. Oh man, it's a big man sport. Why do y'all use caveats and excuses to be scum and amoral? There's no excuse to be amoral scum, bro. But Charles Barkley's not educated, so I understand that. But the irony that he's not used as a poster child for uneducated athletes, and he's 50 years old, still pronouncing words wrong and having to explain to his white friends about black people. See, coons like that are still allowed to thrive and exist in the NBA. You feel what I'm saying? They're still allowed to have platforms. Y'all still allowed them to speak in the disrespect of the black men on a numerous occasion. And at some point, we have to have a little bit of, you know, respect on our end. We have to have a little respect for ourselves as people. You feel what I'm saying? As people. Hold on, I'm sharing this to the people on. Uh, I'm telling everybody to check it out on YouTube. All right, bet. But yeah, I want I want justice to prevail. I want we have to do better as media, yo. I'm not somebody who is trying to be anything else other than honest. And one thing I won't do is take the side of an institution that has been known to destroy the lives of many people. Oh, they give y'all millions of dollars. They do. Millions of dollars to be quiet and do what I tell you to do. Millions of dollars to be treated like cattle and an animal. Millions of dollars to where an entire institution is using you as a scapegoat. He got paid millions, $64 million. That man, like brother, living good. He out here in Brunswick, Georgia. So I know if he ain't had that kind of money, the cost of living is not high here. He's living like a god out here, bro. Like I can tell you that, and I don't know the man. He's living good out here. Believe me, bro. A country dude out here got a little bit of bread. He probably bought him a tractor. He probably out here doing a million things, own some property. Please, bro. I give Georgia that. You meet a real one out there in Georgia in that little low country area. Some of the hardest working mugs they'll meet. So I don't know him, but at the same time, the level of vitriol from other players, from Steven Jackson, I don't know. I think what George Floyd was, they were related in some way. But it's funny for all the violence and the hood shit that you be on, but it was time to be down for the streets and the people not too long ago. But now we're to hell with Kwame Brown and fuck him. We can fight. And y'all always pick and choose when it's time to be for your people. It shouldn't be because it's personal. You decided to say, "Oh yeah, man, I could pull. We could sound corny." And I don't know Matt Barnes. I didn't listen to you. I saw the hairstyle you had, and you're not the type of nigga I'm gonna be listening to, bro. Y'all, it be you perm head, Prince hairstyle looking ass niggas that be wanting to talk about how soft I pull up and this. It's like, bro, if any of y'all wanted to do that, knowing how many people watch y'all wouldn't be on live. See, Kwame Brown hasn't been talked about because he wasn't playing for 12 years. The only reason he's talked about is because y'all kept mentioning him. Y'all kept bringing his name up. So now that he responded, everybody's angry. You know what we call that where I'm from? Being a bitch. Excuse me, I have chosen women watch this. Being a coward. It's cowardly. It's extremely cowardly. And no matter how many tough words y'all bring up and how many gang ties and all this nonsense y'all be throwing up as grown men. Any grown man out here gang banging. And this is cool. Any grown man thinking he tough automatically because he got a color coded dish rag out his back pocket. He needs to stop. A man is a man, bro. Period. The fact that you throw up all these gang ties and street affiliations mean that the man you are without it is nothing. I met a lot of G's, a lot of B's, a lot of C's. But you know what the common denominator between those brothers that I was friends with were? Before anything else, they were warriors. Warriors. You ain't know shit about who they was, by how their hands work. Because they were men. All that other stuff don't matter. If you had a problem with that man, there would be no reason to do all that extra stuff. But the bigger thing is, y'all was joking on him. He's cracking jokes on Kwame Brown. He cracked jokes with y'all. They just were a little personal. Y'all brought up how daddy was a criminal and was a little personal. So he's being personal now. Y'all want to fight him at that point, pull up. Y'all don't get to dictate now, oh, well, nah, you talking now, pull up on me. No, that's not how that works, bro. You've been provoking me for years. So now when I decide to respond to you, now it's like, oh, well, you got to pull up. Why I got to pull up? I'm talking back now. I'm going to keep talking. That's what I'm going to do. If you want to come to my house, you can find out how tough I am. But other than that, why am I gonna? I'm not about to trade tough and I'm gonna beat you up over the internet because that's not what real niggas do. But see, y'all not listening to real niggas. Listening to basketball players who make millions of dollars, but when they get off the court, they got to go back to the street because yo, I'm from the hood. Grown men, grown men. It's just one of those. I just feel we as a people, specifically as a group of people, we have to stop allowing our people to be um, cast aside and discarded. We have to stop. We have to start being the example for our youth to see that we hold each other down and we treat each other as human beings. And for these athletes to go up here and have to put their heart, blood, sweat, and tears into the game. And make no mistake, some athletes are garbage, and that's a factual. Some people play bad, yes, but at the same time, me personally, there's only so far I could go because I'm not a nigga who play basketball. So it's like I could say some dude cheeks, but I can't be like, yo, he's just terrible because I don't play ball. I'm horrible at basketball. I'm 6'2" and trash at basketball. You know what I mean? I can't play basketball, save my life. Like, I can play football, I can box with your ass all day and night, but I can't play basketball. It's just not that was never my sport, you know. But at the same token, I know the criticism that I could give to that game could only be from like a scholastic level. I can never get down and talk to a bench warmer even about the game because you're in the game. I'm watching from my house on TV. So I have an outside looking in perspective, but how much can I respect it if you don't do it? It's like how I treat with battle rap. I was doing podcasting before battle rap, but I knew no one's gonna respect what I'm saying if you don't see me out here working. So I battle rapped. I got 17 battles to my name. No, 16, excuse me, that are on camera. So for 16, now when people come back like, damn, when I tell you what works in the ring or how you can smoke somebody, how this ball works or that work, you can just go back and check my work. And I'm not a guy that gotta be cocky. Go check my work back. I'm not. I'm very proud of every battle I put out, bro. I ain't got no regrets. You know what I mean? But it's because people can respect the work that you put in. So regardless of whether you're very good or very bad, they can see, okay, I understand where you're coming from because that was effective for you. I can't tell somebody how to land the right hand if never landed one. I can't tell somebody how to throw my hands up and box a certain way and how to adjust your heat, adjust your hips, and how to put your ass into a punch. I can't tell you that. I can't. You know what I mean? There's certain things that if you've never done it, have I've never done it? How can I properly tell you? How can I give you real critique if I don't know what I'm talking about? And we allow people who never played the game, like look at Stephen A. Smith, man. Look at this beanhead ass nigga, man. When has that man ever excelled at anything athletic in his life, man? When he run the DSLs all day. But I remember when he was talking about race issues, yo. I remember we talk about black athletes and their rate of domestic violence. But when that white man choked out his wife near to death, he was quiet, Stephen A. Smith. What was the vitriol for the white athletes who were violent, Stephen A. Smith? For the bus, Stephen A. Smith. And the only reason that you mad at him for saying something, because he said something back to y'all. He has every right. I mean, it's just common law. Like I think the issue is that as men, you can't keep talking about me and expect me not to say nothing. That's impossible. You can't keep mouthing off to me and running your mouth to me all the time and thinking nigga not supposed to say nothing. It's crazy. It's crazy, my nigga. So at the end of the day, I won't say it like this. Kwame Brown is not wrong for his approach to this. Not at all. Why would he be wrong? Why would he be wrong for speaking out? That's weird. Why would something be wrong just because y'all wanted to play with the nigga name? I don't think that got nothing to do with something being wrong. I think it's more so of a fact of, the level of hostility he may be giving y'all. It's like, how respectful does he need to speak to people who don't respect him? Let him have it. Because my thing is, I want to know who's going to address those rape charges from C to God. Who want to address it, yo? Because we're acting like it didn't happen. And for Angela Yee, you sit there in the office with this man, you be talking to this man, you be hanging with this man. He pled guilty. So what? Do we sweep it under the rug because, oh, he admitted he was wrong? Not publicly. Charlamagne the God, you gonna say sorry to raping that little girl, man. Ain't no allegedly you pled guilty. You gonna apologize for rape. You gonna apologize for raping that little girl, man. Not gonna stop using the excuse that, oh, she 13, she 14, she thinks she grown. You're a grown ass man, bro. Because you won't want to hear that if that was your daughter, bro. You won't want to hear that at all. So like, why would that be your excuse to do something that disgusting, bro? No, you knew how old she was. Y'all be knowing, yo. Y'all be knowing they be kids. Y'all be knowing they be kids, bro. You're not gonna. Y'all be knowing they be kids, but there's no man that can't look at no little girl and tell she a little ass girl, bro. Come on, bro. I don't want to hear them excuses, bro. With your old patchy raccoon head ass, rocket raccoon looking ass nigga, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like Kwame done said so many insults about you, man. I don't even want to use them, John, because like I did those is all his. I see niggas gonna try to run out with what he's saying though. With the that's my mama's cooking and all that. Like, all right, don't be riding waves, y'all. Like let that man have his catchphrase. But now that nigga did this. That nigga did what he was supposed to do. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of you goofy ass niggas need to get out of here, man. No Kevin Samuels worshiping ass niggas, man. They gotta get out of here, man. One of those. But that's how I feel about it, about Kwame Brown and shit, man. You know what I mean? Son B, he be doing this thing, you know what I mean? He been doing what he's supposed to do, man, making people mad, the right people mad, make them coon and house niggas angry. Who cares about their feelings? Then you got people speaking out of turn that know nothing about it, sharing memes or whatnot, joking. That whatnot. Y'all might want to stay out the way. Because if y'all got some skeletons that he may know about, it's going to come and hit you in the face. You know what I mean? But I want to keep it easy. You know what I mean? Let that man stay out of the game in peace, bro. Like, that man wasn't bothering y'all. 12, he played for 12 years. He been out the game for a hot second. Y'all still talking about that man. And he let y'all talk. But you know what? Y'all awakened the real ones. That's all that happened. Y'all awakened the real ones. Y'all, the real ones are trying to go to sleep, man. But we lost X, lost Paul Mooney. We losing too many real ones, yo. It was time. MF doing. We losing too many, bro. It was time, bro. Y'all waking up the Warriors, my G. But anywho, it's the motherfucking Nerd Rap podcast, man. I appreciate everybody that tuned in, all of one of you. But yeah, definitely, man. Salute to everybody.